to the federal interest rate heat up. Local housing experts say now might be the time to buy a new house. And an animal shelter in southeast Kansas says it may have to close its doors due to financial concerns. KOAM News at 10 is next. Now at 10, with the SEK Humane Society at risk of closing, stray animals could roam free in Pittsburgh. The shelter's urgent plea tonight. Plus, new information on mortgage rates and how they will affect the local housing market. And a program in Pittsburgh gives teens an opportunity to give back to the community.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
After half a century of rescuing lost animals, a 4-state animal shelter says it is currently in a financial crisis. And if not resolved, the door will close for good by the end of the year. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Tanya Bach. The SEK Humane Society in Pittsburgh says it needs an average income of $30,000 a month to continue to stay afloat. That's the number Director Jasmine Kyle presented to Pittsburgh City Commissioners at tonight's meeting. As KOAM's Lonnie Walton reports, if that door closes, it affects the entire community.
I love spending time with the animals. They all look so happy. Yes. None of them seem miserable. They all look happy.
What we're hearing and what we get threats of, in all honesty, and I'll be transparent about this, is, well, if you're not going to take my dog, I'm just going to let it loose.
Jasmine Kyle is the director of Southeast Kansas Humane Society. She's currently working with Pitt State students to help keep these lost animals in order. As she says, any abandoned pet could pose a serious threat to the community.
Say that it's sick, it has ringworm and such, and it's been raised with kids. There's a school a few blocks away. Can hear the kids. It's going to go for the kids because they know that sound, right? That's our concern.
Kyle says 97% of stray animals in Crawford County are from Pittsburgh. She says there's very little funding for the animal shelters and it's even worse for small towns.
And they'll look at populace of Pittsburgh compared to Chicago or New York, New York. Who do you think gets picked?
Actually, after spending time with them today, I don't want anything bad to happen to any of the animals.
And what if these current animals don't find homes?
We're not looking to do what some shelters sadly had to do during the pandemic when they shut down. It was mass euthanasia. We are not doing that. I can tell you that for a fact. We are not doing that.
Lastly, how can community members help?
One, if you could make a donation, oh my gosh, please, that would help us out a ton. Talk to your commissioners. We are a voice for the voiceless. Oh my gosh, that's a huge way you can help. Volunteering, it doesn't give financial towards, but it does help. It truly does. So if you can come out and do some walking, if you can help us clean.
If you're looking for an animal right now, this is the best place to be.
Reporting in Pittsburgh, I'm Lonnie Walton, KOAM News.
Now, Kyle says if they do end up closing, she will work hard to make sure all current animals find a home. Last week, Kyle presented the shelter's financial struggles to the Crawford County Commission at their Tuesday meeting, and she plans to return this Friday for an update. Chief Meteorologist Doug Hetty joins us now with a first look at weather.
Well, it definitely turned out to be a decent Tuesday for us today. A lot of clouds, some scattered showers across the region. We're going to see the same on your Wednesday, especially some showers during the afternoon hours, especially on the Kansas and the Oklahoma side. But temperatures bump up. Lower 80s today. Let's go upper 80s on Wednesday. Let's go near 90, if not into the 90s. By the time Thursday, Friday, and really into the weekend roll around. We are tracking a few scattered showers, even a few thunderstorms over the past couple hours. These have died out nice and calm as we go through the rest of the night. Temperatures are going to drop back near 60 to 62 as we go into the morning hours. Right now it's 68 in Joplin, 65 in Pittsburgh, so temperatures overall are looking pretty good. You can see our high temp 81, average high is 84, so a smidge below normal, but we're going the other direction. We're going to talk about it here in a bit.
All right, thanks, Doug. The Missouri House passes a bill to redraw congressional districts, sending the measure to the Senate for debate. Supporters say the Republican-led effort is meant to ensure Missouri's voice in Washington reflects the state's conservative majority. If passed, the bill would divide Missouri's 5th congressional district into 3 seats, each already represented by Republicans.
I think that it would be better if we had more Republicans in Washington, D.C., and if Mike Johnson was Speaker of the House versus Hakeem Jeffries or Nancy Pelosi. And I think the vast majority of Missourians, it's clear, would prefer a House with Republican leadership when you consider the fact that Republicans have every statewide office in Missouri, over 90% of the county offices. The state legislature has a supermajority virtually of Republicans. And so I think those are Missouri values, and that's what Missourians generally would like to see represented in Congress.
The bill now heads to the Senate for debate. If passed, it will move to the governor's desk for final approval. Well, the Federal Reserve is set to meet in mid-September about interest rates. The current rate is 4.25%. Mortgages are not directly influenced by the federal interest rate, though. Instead, they're affected by the 10-year Treasury yield. Arvest Bank says mortgages change ahead of the federal rate.
Risk of, I wish I wouldn't have waited 6 months. I ask 2 questions when I take applications. What do you want your house payment to be, and what are you looking for? And so when it comes down to the wire and we're getting closer to closing time, then I ask those 2 questions again. Can you afford the payment? Do you love the house? And if the answer to those questions are yes, then it's a great time to buy.
Mortgage rates are trending down now, regardless of what the Federal Reserve decides to do. Heartland Patriots Festival and Joplin Area Chamber of Commerce hold a Veterans Entrepreneurs Workshop at Crowder College. This was at the Joplin Advanced Training Technology Center today. About a dozen veterans were in attendance to gain insight into starting small businesses. Representatives from multiple organizations spoke and answered questions.
If we can remove some of the unknowns, if we can help them overcome some whatever fear there may be about starting a business and recognize what's involved risk-wise, what resources are available in the community for them, it may make it easier for them to do this and start a business.
This is the first year for the event. Organizations in attendance included the Small Business Association, the Small Business Development Center at MSSU, and Veterans Affairs. Well, the Pittsburgh Public Library hopes to offer local teenagers a chance to earn some volunteer hours. The library says its Volunteen program provides an opportunity for teens to volunteer, socialize, and help the community. The group meets every second and fourth Tuesday of the month, and teens help with various projects from shelving books to preparing craft projects for story time.
I grew up with this library, so it's very fulfilling for me to come here and help out, and especially in the doing this kind of thing where when we were little kids we come here in grade school and we do all these crafts, and then helping make those crafts for the new generation of little kids is, you know, very nice.
The next Volunteens Open Afternoon at the Pittsburgh Public Library will take place on September 23rd from 4 to 6 p.m. Well, tickets for the biggest sporting event in the world go on sale tomorrow. Coming up, getting ready for the first round of the World Cup. But up first, customers head back to a quick trip in Missouri to see if Powerball Lightning will strike for a second time. Imagine going from everyday life to becoming an instant multimillionaire. And that's just what happened last weekend when 2 winning Powerball tickets were sold. The jackpot at the time was over $1.7 billion. Texas sold one of the winning tickets, and as Jordan Burrell reports, a quick trip in Missouri sold the other. People are already lining back up for another chance.
People in North County still chasing their shot at fortune on Monday. This man buying a stack of Powerball tickets after hearing that this quick trip sold the lucky ticket that made someone nearly $900 million richer overnight.
I was telling my son earlier today, I said the good news is that someone local from St. Louis won Powerball. The bad news is that it wasn't me.
Andre Wells says this QT is his go-to gas station.
I knew it was local. I didn't know it was this particular quick trip that I stopped here and gas up on a regular basis.
It sits off Highway 367, so it's his most convenient option. He says, unfortunately, he didn't play this time around, but now that he knows the station is lucky, he won't miss out again.
It's just good news.
Good news indeed, not only for the winner, but the historic jackpot pays off for all of Missouri. Some $16.9 million will be given to Missouri education. That's the amount of sales made for Powerball since May 31st.
That's a good thing.
Brian Brown tried his luck. He says he wasn't lucky this time.
I didn't win this time, but I'm going to win.
But for Brown and many others that stopped by the QT on Monday, they're happy for the anonymous winner, hopeful that they'll use some of the money to give back.
I hope they spend their money on, reasonable things for their family, their kids, and everything. That's a good cause.
Hopefully they put it back into the community, or some of it, but That's a good thing to have, though. I would love if it was me.
Shared with quite a few people.
The lucky winner now has two options: $893 million paid over the next 29 years, or a lump sum of $410 million. Either way, Missouri will withhold state and federal taxes before payout.
Let's face it, it's a voluntary tax, and so that goes into the general revenue of the state. So it should be helpful.
So while that one lucky person has yet to step forward, the state of Missouri can celebrate, and the North County Quick Trip can as well, as they will receive a $50,000 bonus just for selling the winning ticket. Well, get ready. The first phase of the FIFA World Cup ticket sales begin tomorrow. The Visa presale draw opens at 11 a.m. Eastern Time for qualifying Visa card holders. The entry period closes Friday, September 19th. Successful applicants will be given a date and time slot to try and purchase tickets in October. Tickets start at $60 for group stage matches. Additional ticket draws will be available later that month. Now, the 2026 FIFA World Cup is taking place in 16 cities across Canada, Mexico, and the U.S. from June 11th to July 19th, 2026. Today, Apple unveiled its next generation of phones and wearable tech. The new iPhone Air is the thinnest model ever made and brings more computing power for AI capabilities. It's made from 80% recycled titanium and will come in 4 colors. The new iPhone 17 features an enhanced camera. It'll come in 5 colors and have an all-day battery life. Apple also announced new upgrades to its AirPods and watches. The new products will be in stores September 19th. A little later, the city of Joplin turns to the public to add some local labels to a new bike park.
And it looks like our temperature's really heating up. We're going to check that out coming up.
Climate can't be
Well, it turned out to be a pretty good Tuesday for us today. We had a lot of clouds. We got some showers in here late morning, early afternoon, mainly along north of I-44. Then this evening, we got a few thunderstorms in southwestern Missouri. But now we've lost the heating of the day, so you can watch the thunderstorms, sunsets. They're gone. It's nice and quiet as we go through the rest of the overnight hours. So we're going to drop back 60, 62 degrees for overnight lows. All right, let me walk you through time. We're going to go through about the next 60 hours. We're going to stop this tomorrow morning, getting up early, 7 a.m. 60, 62 degrees, fairly comfortable. As we go through the morning, partly sunny, a little hotter tomorrow. We're going to go into lower 80s by the noon hour, but we're going to be tracking these guys out across central Kansas. Very similar to today. A complex tries to drive in, but it dies as it pushes in. But we should still get some scattered showers. Kansas, Oklahoma kind of dying as they work in. Now, temperature is a little bit hotter tomorrow. Average high is 84. I think we're going to go about 86 or 87 if we can get enough sunshine. A little warmer start on Thursday, mid-60s. As we go into the afternoon, the 90s return. We have not hit 90 since August 21st, so that would be 3 weeks ago on this Thursday, and on Thursday, so 3 weeks later, we get into a stretch of 90s, which are going to settle in for several days. 64 to start, 82 by noon, high temp 87 on your Wednesday. Looks great outside. Great shot of our Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex tower cam. We are looking downtown Joplin off toward the north and to the east. And if we look outside, really, it's decently comfortable. It's 65 to about 70. I think we'll drop off another 7, 8 degrees. All right, so here's what's going on. Look at this little circulation down here. So this is a ridge of high pressure building in. We don't like to see a ridge of high pressure this time of the year because as it builds in, it brings that heat and some humidity back into the region. So let me show you what that means for you. Let's go into Friday. Now we're 93, 94 for afternoon highs. I'll take you into the weekend, a very August-like weekend. Summer holding on strong, 93, 94, 95 degrees. Here's Saturday. Sunday, really no changes. If you're going north, Kansas City's got a big football game, 325 slot, and it's going to be in the 90s. So lower 90s on Sunday. This trend continues on Monday. This trend continues on Tuesday. There may be some signs of this breaking down a little bit the second half of next week. All right, the humidity is not going to be sky high. So Last time we were in this part of the pattern, early August, temps near 100, heat index about 110. Temps are going to be 7 or 8 degrees cooler. We're in the September version, but still that heat index, the way it feels to your skin, 96, 97 on Friday. We'll do it again Saturday, 95, 96, 97 degrees. High school football on Friday, week 3 for some, week 2 for others. Shorts and t-shirts. Look at this, kickoff 86. By the time the games end, it's only going to be right around 80 degrees. Hit miss random showers for us, especially tomorrow afternoon, 87 for a high. 90 Thursday, 93 Friday. We hold into the 90s all the way through the middle of next week.
Not looking forward to that heat up for sure.
No.
My AC was enjoying getting a semi-break.
Yeah, mine was too.
I'm ready to turn it off though.
We got a ways to go.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Doug. Well, Joplin officials want your help in naming some new trails at the city's bike park at Dora. City officials are inviting the public to name the trails at the Momentum Bike Park located within the Dover Outdoor Recreation Area. When the park opens, it will be the largest municipal facility of its kind in Missouri. It'll feature more than 132,000 square feet of formal bike park elements alongside 10 miles of purpose-built mountain bike trails. If you're interested in submitting names for any of the trails, we've provided a link to the survey on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. The survey closes next Wednesday on the 17th. Well, coming up in sports, the Purple Dragons of Pittsburgh are looking for their 5th straight winning season. We'll hear from the team after this.
KOAM News Now is looking Street Joplin.
The Pittsburgh Purple Dragons are coming off their 4th straight winning season, and as they eye a 5th straight winning year, they will rely on some new faces to step up. The Purple Dragons graduated 23 seniors from the 2024 team. And as they look to fill holes across the field, this squad has embraced competition. But with new guys getting their feet wet and starting roles, one key group is leading the way, the Pittsburgh defensive line. They will be a key strength in 2025 with 3 experienced returners taking on captain duties.
We're a gaps on defense, so that basically means we just hold our gaps and we just, we're always on each other to be hands-on and to be really fierce and competitive against each other. We got Garrett Dillingham, who's a really good DN for us. Cole, he played a lot of good games. He's really good. Of course, we got Parker Pinamani. He's the best defensive tackle we've had in a lot of last years.
Cole Hayden, dog, like his brother used to play here, his little brother plays here. It's just a lot going on. He's really good. Parker Pinamani, that's a guy that he goes hard every day at practice. Like there's times coach has to move him out of the play just because of how hard he's going, and he's just a dog. JC Patterson, he does everything he needs to do in the weight room, the classroom. He's just a dog offensive line too.
Pittsburgh faces a tough test to open the season, playing their first 3 games on the road. And while that may be daunting to some teams, the Dragons are embracing any opportunity to play, whether it's at home in front of their fans at Hutch Field or on the road.
We play better on the road anyway since my time being here, but we preach all the time, we'll play anywhere. We'll play in a cow pasture. We'll play on a gravel road. We'll play on asphalt. We'll play out here on the practice field. We'll play in the Chief Stadium. It doesn't matter where we play. We're going to give it our best effort, and hopefully the results turn in our favor.
I love it. To go into somebody else's house and then to go, take that away from them and having, as we call the purple haze, circling around them and just have that energy just piling up over throughout the week. And then when it comes Friday, we're just there mentally just to outwork them.
After taking down Emporia to open the season last week, the Dragons battle Shawnee Mission South on Friday. The fall sports season is in full swing with soccer and volleyball matches taking center stage this evening, including teams like Baxter Springs, Joplin, and even Pittsburgh. On the court, the Lions battling Riverton for the 2nd time this year. Early first set, Rams' Alexa Price keeping the point alive, helping set up Avery Barnett, but Kirsten Burgraff and Layla Weaver show off their blocking skills for the point. Later in the set, Riverton going back on the attack. They're going to find their outside hitter, Amberly Youngblood, and she brings the hammer on the spike. Still in the first set, Lions keeping the play alive as you're about to see off the serve. Their defense will keep it alive on the spike, but not for long. Ava Price, she'll find hardwood for the kill coming up there. Riverton takes down Baxter in 5 sets, 3-2. On the soccer pitch, Joplin taking on New Heights at home. Early first half, Cougars on the attack. Kason Hamlin connecting with Brogan Reither, who fires on net, but Gage Stovern makes the save. Eagles now taking it the other way. Isaiah Snyder, he's going to look to cross, but it's deflected with Abdias Orozco Rodriguez coming up with it and shooting. Rush Stewart makes the save though. Later in the half, off a Joplin free kick, Snyder gets behind the defense, tracks the kick, and tickles the twine to give the Eagles an early lead as Joplin shuts out New Heights 3-0. Purple Dragons of Pittsburgh at home in a matchup against Lewisburg. Pittsburgh threatening early on. This corner kick from Bradley Cifuentes Rodas curls into the hands of Evan Moreland for the save. Now it's the Wildcats threatening this time. Owen Marsh's free kick will be deflected off a defender. Dragons netminder Emerson Cabrera skies to make the save. Lewisburg back on the attack. This crosser finds Parker Powers, who gets a head on it, but Cabrera lays out to make the diving grab. Pittsburgh comes away with the W 2-1 in comeback fashion. That's it for your sports. We're back with more after this.
My bank was founded here.
Authorities in Neosho County, Kansas recently apprehended an escapee and are now turning to the public for help. The individual in question is between 5 and 9 years old and authorities believe is either an Angus or an Angus cross cow. Yes, I said cow. The stray is currently pinned and being cared for. Neosho County Sheriff deputies reached out to area cattle producers, but say so far no owner has been found. If you are the owner, please contact the Neosho County Sheriff's Office and provide a description of the missing cow. If the owner cannot be found and you would like to own a cow, the stray will go up for sale next Wednesday at the Parsons Livestock Auction.
You know, with the price of beef, I bet a lot of people are missing a cow right now.
Yeah, that's why we don't have the actual image of the cow. So you have to describe what she looks like.
Gotcha.
Final check of the weather.
Yeah, 87 for us tomorrow. Random showers. 90 on Thursday, 93 on Friday. So it starts to heat back up a bit.
All right, and moving on to sports. Sorry, I had to.
High school football continues. Pittsburgh on the road once again, but they'll be back for week 4. A lot of high school football coming up, so going to be busy for us in the sports department.
Yes, it will. All right, well, thank you for watching. We will see you tomorrow. Have a great night and an even better Wednesday.